Hi everyone, I'm Beth Kuchenberger, Director of Back to Back Ministries, and this is my friend Ellie.
Hi!
Ellie's going to help me tell a story today about a little girl who went through a really scary time. She even had to go to a hospital. Ellie, you've had times when you've had to go to a hospital and see a doctor before, haven't you?
Yes,
Was it scary for you?
sometimes.
Yeah, isn't it so good to know that even in times when it's scary, we can be sure that God is always with us?
Yes.
I think so too. Today we're going to hear about how God was with someone very special, someone who lives in a country called Mexico. At Back to Back Ministries, we serve God by helping take care of children all around the world, especially orphaned and vulnerable children. For the last 17 years, I've lived in Mexico and I help people who work with children there. Mexico is one of the biggest countries in the world. Every year, millions of people travel there to see its mountains, beaches, and beautiful culture. But most of these tourists, they never see the Mexico on the other side. That can be a hard place to live. Almost half of Mexico survives without even the most basic of needs, like food and clothing and shelter. And many of those people are children. The story I'm going to tell you today is about one of those children, and her name is Daniela. Daniela remembers very little about the day her mother brought her and her two older sisters to the children's home. She was only about 4 years old. At the time, it just looked like their mom had brought them to a park to play. But they were there to stay. Daniela's father had left, and Daniela's mother could not make enough money to take care of her girls. So she left them in the care of a children's home. Over the months and then years that followed, their mother visited very little. Trying to keep her distance on purpose, she thought maybe it would make it easier for them to get used to their new life. The girls gradually did get used to life at the home. They made friends and went to school and played and did lots of things that kids do. But they did it without a mom or dad and without a home all their own. Not too far from Mexico, not far from where Daniela lived, another girl had grown up in a place called South Texas. But Anita had a very different life than Daniela. One day, when Anita had finished all her schooling, she packed a bag and prepared to go on a week-long mission trip. She was so excited. This is something she'd been longing to do, and she couldn't wait to get to the children's home. It was the same home where Daniela and her sisters lived. By the end of that week, Anita knew she didn't want to leave. After praying and talking to others about it, she decided to come and serve at the children's home for 2 months to see how God could use her to help the girls there. 2 months became 6. And soon life at the home was normal for Anita. She loved all the girls she was responsible for, especially Daniela, as she was one of the youngest. It had been a challenge to get Daniela, or Danny as she was called, to trust her. But Anita felt like they had made a connection. Many nights before bed, Anita would brush Danny's hair and tell her how God had made her and knew every part of her. God made all of you, she would say. He made you kind and generous. He planned a big story for you, Danny. Anita had said these words many times, but Danny was still not sure about this story or about God. One morning, Anita woke the girls up at 5:30 a.m., just like she did every day. "Buenos dias, time to get up," she said. Some girls had a harder time waking up than others, and Daniela pulled the covers up over her head. Anita gave a warning. "When I get back with breakfast, everyone needs to be up and dressed." Anita came back to find Danny sprawled on the floor, laughing. Danny said, "I just fell. The floor must be slippery here." Daniela got up and got ready for school, but an hour later she fell again on her way out. This time she didn't laugh. Something was wrong. She couldn't move her legs. "Anita," she cried out, "I can't walk."
What happened to Daniela? How will she know that guy is with her? Come back next time to find out.